We welcome our sister Ash, a wonderfully wise teacher who has graced us with her presence and her lessons a number of times over the years, and couldn't think of a better person to speak with us and to us this morning in the week after the election, knowing that things would be in the air. Heather Ash really speaks to the moment of power and presence.
Brings her warrior goddess energy here to each of our hearts. So welcome. We are grateful. And all the way from New Mexico.
Thanks so much, Rudy and Zet and Randy. Beautiful, beautiful songs. And hello to everyone out there. Yay! I'm glad to gather with you in this virtual way today. I've been so honored to be part of Celebration Circle for many years and moons now. And what a year, what a week. So as we continue on this journey that is 2020, what I've been really pondering is this idea of what it means to evolve ourselves and to re-evolve ourselves. And that's really what the word revolution comes from, is this idea of we are growing, we are changing, we are expanding, and it's not easy. Growth is not necessarily smooth. It's not necessarily angelic. It's messy sometimes, both inwardly and outwardly. And this year, I think, has given us an opportunity to step back into ourselves in a new way, to make new choices, and to also learn how to be with the unexpected, with the mystery, with the unknown, to come back home to ourselves over and over again and say, I don't know. And that's definitely what this last week has invited us to do. So I think this last week for you was probably a really good microcosm of your relationship with yourself at this time. I know for myself, I went through phases this week of refreshing every 5 minutes. Has something changed? Has something changed? Has something changed? And disconnecting and praying and meditating and getting quiet and just trusting the process. And that's a pretty good overview of my internal world. That there are days where I feel calm, where I feel open-hearted, where I am in touch with the wind and the rocks and the joy that's present right here in this moment. Nothing else exists. And there's other days or moments or hours where I'm concerned, where I'm anxious, where I'm plugged in and following trails in the internet or on Facebook or on Instagram and lose myself and have to come back to remember that I get to choose where I want to put my attention. That I get to choose where I want to put my attention. And that's true for all of us. What does it mean to choose fear over love? To choose clarity over confusion? To choose peace over pain? It's understanding that we're part of something larger. We're part of a larger energy that I call the dream of the planet, that is constantly going to hook our attention. And much of the dream that we're in uses fear to hook our attention, uses confusion, because that's where it's most easily grabbable. So as we remember that, we're part of a larger system right now, and that our intent, and I know the intent of Celebration Circle, I believe the intent of most of us humans is to bring more love, to bring more clarity, to bring more presence into our life, as individuals, as communities, as the world. Now, we may have differences in how we believe that will come about externally, but I believe we all are seeking connection. We all are seeking that sense of communion. We all are seeking love. We all are seeking to be seen. And sometimes that means that we, in relationship with others, instead of looking at the surface, this is what I believe in, that we go deeper to say, what's the connection here? What are we both in service to? How are we both in service to life? How are we both in service to love? And I know that for myself, when I keep coming back and anchoring that into my being, questions, how am I in service to love? How am I in service to life? What's my next action? And that when that action comes, not from my fear or my anxiety or my worry, but that action comes from my willingness to get still, to sit through my own inner chaos, to sit through the chaos of what's happening outside, and to get quiet within over and over again, to settle. And it does feel like letting the murky waters settle down to that stillness where the water clears. And from that clear place, I can then choose the next action. For me, that's the inner revolution that we're in right now, is how do we choose calm versus chaos? How do we settle into ourselves in a new way? Bless me. And how do we continue to consciously choose where we want to put our attention? How we want to hold ourselves in the world? What experience we want to have in this precious, limited life that we have? We are each so blessed to get to be in these bodies, to be in this time. And it's an intense time. Lots is shifting, lots of paradigms are transforming. There's lots of unknown. And I believe there's also a reason that we're here, that each of us is here, that we have something to contribute, that we have something to gift to this time. And that gift involves this being. And this gift involves the world. Part of the revolution, this inner revolution, is the learning how to hold that we are the world and the world is us. That we are part of something larger, and that every thought, every action, every emotion expressed or repressed goes out and has impact. Now, as we learn to dance and celebrate and settle in for the long haul, and that's the thing about transformation, about paradigm shifts, around change. It involves messiness, incredible patience, perseverance. It involves us being able to hold the long story and the short story. what I also think of as short-term nourishment versus long-term nourishment. For most of us, we've been taught to go for short-term nourishment or short-term, I feel better right now. I want to feel better right now. And we got to see that you probably got to see that for yourself at the election, of the amount of times that you went into worry, confusion, fear versus the amount of time that you were able to go, okay, we'll know when we know what the result is going to be. I can be present, I can be patient. And to be curious, to use that as a little microcosm of your relationship to yourself. And just to be curious, was I able to stay steady inside of myself? And if I chose, if you chose to be part of what I called the roller coaster, and I did, I had fun on the roller coaster. It was like, what's going to happen next? That there was that sense of showing up with what is, not trying to control or fix, but to let history unfold, to let life unfold in all of its messy, beautiful glory, and to stay present with how can I best nourish this being that I am, and how can I best nourish the world in the long term, for the long story. So the long story involves your ancestors, the ones that will come after you, not just this one individual life that we are blessed to live, but the understanding that we are part of a much larger river of life that flows behind us and flows before us. And that as we learn to walk in beauty, as we learn to walk in consciousness, as we learn to walk in presence, as we learn to walk in unity, that we are walking with our ancestors behind us, cheering us on, and that we're walking with every action that we take, also blessing and cheering on the ones that are coming after us. That's the long story. And so this blip of 2020, which seems endless, this intensity of an election is a blip in time in terms of the long story. And so whether you feel elated by the results of the election, whether you feel devastated by the results of the election, the question now for all of us is, what's my next action? How do I continue to follow my integrity, my love, my compassion, my presence? How do I honor my ancestors and bless the ones coming afterward? How do I stay connected to the long story and let my action come from there? Our old way of being is very self-centered, very self-important. And that's short story. What do I need to do to get for me? How do I make sure I'm comfortable? How do I make sure I'm okay and safe? And I believe the invitation that 2020 is giving all of us is nothing's known. What illusion of safety or control that you thought you had, this is the universe speaking to us, that you thought you had, you don't have, sweethearts. So where does that leave us? That leaves us learning how to be in relationship with the mystery. That leaves us learning how to show up and be present fully and resource from the inside. I always say that when challenges arise, they give us the opportunity to deepen into ourselves. They give us the opportunity to get more steady. They give us the opportunity to be more creative, to be more in touch with our intuition. And at this time, we're facing lots of challenges. And it's easy to despair or feel hopeless or to worry about what to do around climate change, what to do about racial injustice, what to do about the state of division in our political world in the United States, at least, and many other parts of the world, what to do about COVID-19, what's going to happen. There's lots of unknowns, there's lots of uncertainty, there's lots of fear. Do you want to be a warrior of fear or a warrior of love? Do you want to use your precious energy to stay in confusion and self-doubt and trepidation and indecision? Or do you want to use your precious energy to say, I have a contribution, I am valuable, there is hope? To listen to the rhythm of your heart and your soul and your gut around where you can give, where you can offer up. Because I know when we feel a sense of purpose and a sense of hope and a sense of contribution, our lives have meaning. We know we matter, and each of us matters. I believe the revolution that we're in right now, the big change that we're in, is an opportunity to claim the beauty, the wisdom, the creativity, the power, and the intuitive capacities that each of us have already inside of us, and to bring them forward. To be in relationship with the world as this incredible playground slash teaching educational forum slash mess slash place of great love, and to hold all of it and to ask, what's my next step? What's my next action? How can I be part of this revolution of love? How can I let the tragedy or the grief or the loss and even the uncertainty carve me deeper? How can I make art out of the places of transformation, change, death, release? Because as humans, we are artists. And as artists, we have an entire world as our canvas and our tools. Because your life is your art. And as an artist, when you learn to nourish yourself, to know that you're part of something greater, to know that you have a contribution, to not worry about, is my art good? Is it right? Do people like it? None of that matters. What matters is you as the artist creating from the deepest place of your being, finding your joy in your creation, finding that sense of purpose. And your purpose, sometimes people are like, I need to know the big purpose. Your purpose may be to just show up. What if that's the purpose? To be present, to listen, to act from your heart in all the little ways. Whether you're washing your hands or whether you're out figuring out how to remove plastic from the oceans, whether you're lighting a candle or you're doing policy around how to shift climate change, whether you're outside feeling the wind against your skin and feeling that blessing of air, or whether you're out marching in the streets. All of this is part of transformation and part of your art and part of our collective healing. Remember that we are in this together and that we can center our lives in fear, or we can center our lives in love. And what supports you in being and owning and growing and exploring the depth of love. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share with each of you and to be part of this celebration circle as we celebrate life, as we celebrate our connection, as we celebrate the messes and the beauty, and as we celebrate this moment in this time and the next and the next and the next. So let's join together across the ethers for a meditation. So if you close your eyes, let's invite us to put one hand on our heart and one hand on our belly and take a breath. And let yourself feel what you're grateful for in this moment. And imagining that you can expand that gratitude from your center out to all the places of beauty in the world, to the children, to the elders, to the animals, to the rocks and trees, to all the humans, to the sun and the moon and the earth and the stars and the universe and the unknown. Sharing your gratitude from your heart for this incredible tapestry that we are part of, life moving through. And imagine as you shine that gratitude out, that you can feel the gratitude of the trees, the sun, the rocks shining back towards you. That as you see and honor life moving through not only the humans, but life that moves through everything, that spark of creation, that spark of creation in everything shares its gratitude with you. So let yourself receive, open to receiving the gratitude of life, of the universe, of the mystery. Take it in. And let your actions in the world come from this place of gratitude And from this place of centered stillness, knowing that you are a drop dropped into the mystery and rippling out, and that those ripples are also coming back your way, so that you can fill your cup, so that you can fill your heart. So that you can remember to keep peering beneath the messiness, chaos, fear, to see the heart of love in everything. And let yourself feel how many humans right now are also holding love. How many humans and spirit guides and allies and creation is supporting us in remembering who we truly are. That you're part of a much larger community. And that you are important. You are beloved. You are whole. You are divine. Blessings to each of you, and gratitude to Zet and Rudy for holding the sacred circle. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and be present here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
What a beautiful.
Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for grounding us in the truth of what is in this moment.
Wisdom for the heart. Thanks.